whether you're a new fan of women's basketball or an older fan of women's basketball, begging Team USA not to make this horrific mistake. And here they are, not only making the horrific mistake, but they're paying for it, and they're apologizing for it. So,
WNBA, who talks about women sports more than First Take.
Stephen A., respectfully, with your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
I do agree with Stephen A. Smith. You don't need a business degree or even a marketing major or even to go to college to know that Caitlin Clark brings viewers. If Caitlin Clark is bringing viewers, then putting her on the Team USA women's basketball team, which is watched globally, would only help women's basketball thrive. But for some reason, she was not included. I'm sure at this point you guys are sick of this clip that I'm
all around the league. But as a coach of the home team, there's going to be a lot of people cheering for that other side. I mean, how about one?
Not even one.
And this was further validated by the fact that Caitlin Clark stared down at Cheryl Reeve as the Indiana Fever defeated the Minnesota Lynx on the road. But if you guys remember, the original reason why Caitlin Clark wasn't allowed on Team USA's basketball team was quote-unquote because they didn't want her fans to be upset at her lack of playing time. Bear that in mind. Keep that in mind for a second. But the real reason was, clearly, the older players of the WNBA are just trying to guard the plate as much as they can, and they don't want her to succeed. This is despite Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, and Breanna Stewart playing for Team USA before they've ever even played a single WNBA game in their career. So all three of these players have done what Caitlin Clark was trying to do, but regardless, Caitlin Clark took it with class.
Excited for the girls that are on the team. I know it's the most competitive team in the world, and I know it could have gone either way, of me being on the team, me not being on the team, so I'm excited for them. I'm going to be rooting them on to win gold. I was a kid that grew up watching the Olympics, so yeah, it'll be fun to watch them. And then we all know how talented that team is. Like, you look at that roster, and a lot of players I've already had the opportunity to play in this league that are just so good, and I know they're going to go out there and dominate, and I'm going to be watching and cheering for them. So.
And the Olympics started. To be honest, the reaction to Team USA's basketball team was as we expected. And I want you to know, this is specifically for Team USA's women's basketball team. Because check this out. A few days ago, Team USA faced off against Japan. Now, I want to give you some attendance numbers in regards to each country's women's basketball game. So, Spain faced off against China, and they drew the largest crowd with 27,021. Then it was Nigeria versus Australia with 24,023. Then Germany versus Belgium and France versus Canada had similar attendance numbers at 20,211. And then USA versus Japan had 13,040 live viewers. That's over 8,000 below the average attendance over the first couple of days. That's how bad Team USA is doing in terms of attendance. It gets even more comical here.
But I do think they need Caitlin Clark for people to actually watch them. And it's hilarious because someone got some footage of the women reacting to the sign, and at least they took it pretty well, except Brittany Griner. Pops over there isn't really paying any attention to it. Now, I know what you guys are going to be saying. It just goes to show how far the women in the WNBA went in order to make sure Caitlin Clark would not join the team. And it's truly insane. Remember when I said that the excuse